Chapter 53. After that, word of the new age of demon lords spread across many nations. But that's a story for another time. For now, I had returned to Tempest. However, as I approached the gates of the town, I nearly jumped, startled by the grand line of monsters bowing and congratulating me on my ascension to Demon Lord. Of course, the mastermind behind this spectacle was none other than Diablo, even though he was still on a mission to conquer the kingdom of Farmus. "What the heck are you doing here?" I asked, confused. "I've come to witness your glorious return, my lord," Diablo declared with enthusiasm. "That's not what I meant." I sighed. "Well, in any case, it's nice, sort of. Still, after this demon lord ascension, I knew there would be much work to do." Rimuru and her subordinates followed me as we made our way to the office. The moment I sat down, Diablo immediately poured me some tea. "Here is your tea, my lord." "Ah, thank you, I replied, sipping it gratefully. But just as I was enjoying a moment of peace, Diablo approached Xian with a huge smirk on his face. "So, did you protect Lord Rimuru well?" he asked her. "Of course, that goes without saying. You should trust your seniors, T-boy," Xian retorted, her tone sharp. Oh boy, it was about to get spicy again, just when I thought I could enjoy some peaceful time. Thankfully, Haruna and the other goblinas from Shuna's kitchen brought in some desserts. Cherries, who had been standing quietly in the office, picked one up and handed it to Veldora, who was reading in the corner. At that moment, Rigurd entered the room, beaming with joy. "My Lord Rimuru, you've returned safely," he shouted with exuberance. "Calm down, Rigurd. Of course, I've returned. There's still so much that needs to be done. First off, as a certified member of the Demon Lord Council, I've been granted authority over the entire Great Jura Forest." "Ho, and that means?" he asked, intrigued. "It means we now have to protect the whole forest. There are so many more species living here, the Horsehead tribe, the Oxhead tribe, more orcs, ogres, and goblin villages in remote areas, and most importantly, the Tengu. We need to send out invitations and organize a grand festival for the founding day." When I finished explaining, everyone in the room applauded, especially Diablo, who looked prouder than ever. Then there was Veldora, staring at me with an expectant gaze. Before the Walpurgis began, he had asked to spar with Shizu-san. Though she had flat-out vetoed the idea, Veldora needed to let out some steam. As we know, beings like true dragons find it hard to contain their massive energy completely. I promised him I'd find a way to help him with that, and I always keep my promises. So, when Rimuru came to Tempest, we immediately got to work, with Masayuki also joining us just before his departure to Blumend. "So, I'll leave everything in your hands, Rigurd. Send invitations to King Gazel and the leaders of the Jura Forest's races. And, of course, handle the preparations for the festival." "Understood," Rigurd replied with enthusiasm. After Rigurd left, the next one to report in was Geld. It seemed the plans for the labyrinth had already been reviewed for construction, along with the Colosseum and the Kingdom's castle, which, frankly, I had completely forgotten was already completed. I'll visit it another time, but when I glanced at the blueprints, I couldn't help but gasp at how over the top this castle project was. It felt like a display of both our country's fortune and technological prowess. It's also incredibly spacious, though, as intended, it's a multi-purpose castle, with key facilities like Vesta's lab integrated into it. But first, let's hear Diablo's report. After pouring me some tea, I gave him permission to proceed. "Lord Rimuru, there is nothing for you to worry about," Diablo stated confidently, bowing gracefully. I was still a bit concerned, especially given that Diablo had been up against the Celestial Sages, but... "Are you sure?" I asked, seeking confirmation. "Yes, King Yum has already been installed as the ruler of Farmus," Diablo replied, his confidence shining through. "And what about the nobility, or other members of the royal family? Didn't they protest?" I pressed. "Kufufufu, there is only one, my lord, but he won't be a problem." "Only one?" I raised an eyebrow. "Yes, Prince Edward, the brother of King Edmaris. However, the war's losses are too great for them to recover. They lack the forces for a civil war, and they don't have the resources to pay the reparations you demanded, my lord." "Oh, so they can't pin the blame on us, then?" "Of course not, my lord. They were the ones who foolishly instigated the war. It is their responsibility to face the consequences. However, if by any chance they do retaliate, would you grant me permission to deal with them more forcefully, my lord?" "You have my permission, but..." I want you to make sure not a single innocent person is harmed, Diablo. Kufufufu, that goes without saying. I will also ensure that my actions enhance the good name of Tempest. With that, Diablo bowed deeply and vanished from my office. The next day, delegates from the animal kingdom finally arrived. It was Sophia, Alvis, and, for the first time, I met Grucius. Now that I think about it, I should probably send Grucius to Farmus, no. As they reached our new Tempest multipurpose castle, they stood in awe of its grandeur. Ah, hello, I greeted them as they exited their wagon. Alvis was the one who formally spoke on their behalf. Fufu, now we can finally establish a friendly relationship the right way, she said with a smile. I wondered what she meant by the right way, but then it hit me, they were literally trespassers and refugees the first time we met in this timeline. Ah ha 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 ha. Well, Carrion and I already discussed everything during Walpurgis. So, it's all settled now. I'm pleased to be friends with you beast people, I said warmly. Both Sophia and Alvis smiled at this. Sophia then raised her hand, addressing their group with authority. The beast people under Lord Carrion will treat the kingdom of Tempest as equals. Any disrespect toward Lord Rimuru or his people will be considered a betrayal of Lord Carrion. Understood. When she asked, the crowd behind them responded in unison with firm agreement. After entering the castle, Vesta and his team of goblins guided us to our designated rooms. The castle was truly magnificent. As Alvis and I glanced up at the sky before entering, the highest point of the castle was barely visible, towering far above us. This place could easily accommodate an entire town, around 1,000 chambers in total, with 250 of them reserved specifically for guests. The architecture was astounding, blending modern technology with classic castle designs. It wasn't just your typical medieval fortress, the castle halls and corridors were well lit, air-conditioned, and filled with a touch of modern comfort. Some of the key areas included the Great Hall, Throne Room, Solar, Keep, and the Barracks. Shuna's kitchen and pastry, Vesta's underground lab, luxurious bedchambers for the executive members, and the bathhouse we all loved were also incorporated into the design. On top of that, the castle featured indoor gardens, a courtyard, and many other wonders yet to be explored. For now, though, I'll let the Animal Kingdom's delegates settle into their chambers. They'll get to experience the marvels of the castle firsthand. The next day, I remained busy with yet another project. This time, I was up to something mischievous with Vesta, and Gabble and Kaijin were also present. We even had the help of the orcs to assist Vesta in moving some of his equipment, as he was about to test his new creation. My eyes lit up with excitement as I beheld the marvel in front of me. Master Rimuru, do you really think this is okay? Vesta asked, a mix of nervousness and excitement in his voice. Yeah, you did great, Vesta, I reassured him. Vesta had truly pulled it off. This is a phenomenal discovery, Mr. Vesta. I'm honored to be a part of your team, Gabble exclaimed, unable to contain his enthusiasm. What Vesta had managed to achieve was based on a book of magitechnology that Seal had compiled from my memories, a culmination of over 20 years of knowledge from the other timeline. The book was packed with advanced theories that blended magic and technology, something almost impossible to comprehend in a short time. Vesta's task was to decode the book and bring its theories to life. Easier said than done, it had been an incredibly grueling and tiresome challenge. The fact that it took Vesta 1 to 2 years to get this far was a testament to both the complexity of the task and his unwavering dedication. Now, his hard work was about to bear fruit. With this breakthrough, we can finally begin mass production of a wide range of advanced technologies. From small everyday items like televisions and network connections, to larger projects such as an advanced transit system. We can even start building magiplanes and the luxury liners I've been planning for a while. This opens up a world of possibilities for Tempest, pushing us further ahead in both magical and technological advancements. Our society is about to experience a revolution, combining the power of magic with the convenience of modern technology, something I could only dream of before. Vesta cried a ton, overwhelmed by the success of his work. With this, I can finally show my face to King Gazel, he mumbled through his tears, clearly relieved and proud. Acknowledging his hard-earned achievements, I smiled. Kaijin, ever the supportive friend, placed an arm around Vesta's shoulder. I knew you could do it. Kaijin exclaimed. Master Kaijin, Vesta was visibly moved by the praise. I decided to take this moment to elevate their accomplishments further. Actually, King Gazel will be invited to join our grand founding festival. I want you, Vesta, to have an exhibit showcasing the advancements we've made. Kaijin, I'd like you and Vesta to be the hosts for this special task. Hearing this made both of them extremely happy. This was their long-awaited opportunity to present their achievements to their king and receive the recognition they deserved. The excitement in their eyes was undeniable, and it was clear they would pour their hearts into preparing for the event. To be continued.